And through this quarantine, I've been very bored. I'm in the middle of self-quarantining, whatever you call it, to myself. And I just don't want to risk getting sick or maybe getting others sick by going out. So my son wanted to go with my in-laws. I've been a little sick myself lately, but I don't think it's the COVID. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I've been looking up all kind of scary stories, and I found a bunch in my area that just freaked me out, and I had to know more, and I thought, why not share? Because the type of videos that I like, there's not much on these subjects, and I'm gonna give it a shot and just have fun with it, like a little diary, like what I'm reporting. So if you like what you see, please like and subscribe to encourage me to make more. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So today I want to talk about a girl named Lavina Fisher. Now, Lavina Fisher is considered one of America's first female serial killers. Lavina was born in 1793, and not much was known about Lavina before she met her husband, John Fisher. And, you know, they go on to get married, and they open up an inn together, and they call it the 6 Mile Wayfarer Inn. They named it this because it was 6 miles above Charleston, South Carolina, and which is now North Charleston. Lavina was a very beautiful woman, and she was very charming, and she used that to her advantage while she would help her husband lure in these single businessmen that they would later rob and murder. Now, as time went on, the town began to notice that these men that were traveling and staying at this inn weren't leaving and weren't making it to their destinations. And also there was a lot of missing people around the town. So a local group of, I don't know how to pronounce it, vigilantes. It's just a group of men who really want to take, you know, back at this time, I don't know how to describe it, where like we know what militia is, so I guess it's something similar to that. So a member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authorities. So that's what this group of men did. So it's the year 1819, and this group really wanted to see what was going on and to give John and Lavina Fisher a piece of their mind. So they did, and not much is known about what's said, but they did leave. When they left, a man named David stayed behind to keep a closer eye out on the Fishers. So the next morning, David, the man who stayed behind, he was then attacked by these 2 men that worked for John and Lavina, and he was dragged to Lavina. He was begging for help and seeking help from Lavina, but instead of helping him, Lavina chose the man and smashed his head through a window, and luckily David was able to escape and run to the authorities. So around the same time that David left and went to authorities, it was more in the evening, nighttime, and a man named John Peoples was traveling from Georgia to South Carolina in Charleston and was looking for a place to stay for the night. He was exhausted, and he had saw the 6 Mile Wayfarer Inn. He's got my pumpkin pie. So he stopped at the inn, and unfortunately, Lavina said that there wasn't a room, but he could stay for tea and dinner, which he did. He didn't want to refuse. He said that he was very polite, and he just didn't like the tea, and Lavina was asking him a lot of questions, and he also noticed that her husband, John, was staring at him the whole time. As Lavina expressed that she would asked to be excused, that she had to take care of something, and left. And at this time, he kind of poured out his tea, didn't want to drink it. He did not like tea. And he was just really suspicious of the husband, John. He wasn't sure, you know, I'm just talking to his beautiful wife. He's looking at me, he's jealous, whatever. Well, Lavina came back and expressed that she had a room that was available. So she showed him to it, John Peoples to his room, and he just did not feel well. He was just, something didn't set right with him. He sat in the chair by the door instead of getting in the bed. He fell asleep. But then John was awakened by this loud crushing sound and noticed that the bed in the hotel room fell through a hole in the floor. He was terrified, jumped out the window, got his horse, and fled to authorities to let them know what happened. When police arrived, they arrested John and Lavina as well as the 2 other men that were working for them. They began searching the house, and they find some pretty strange things. They noticed that there was a bunch of hidden passageways and that the rooms had these systems. And I should not be laughing, it's not funny, I'm nervous. But the rooms had these mechanics in them, like you step on a floorboard, the bed shoots through to the basement where hundreds of remains were. And they found all of these missing travelers and missing men's remains here, and they dug up the backyard, they found the remains, and they found a bunch of items that were related to travelers. So after they were arrested and they went to court, they pled not guilty, but the jury did in fact find them guilty and sentence them to be hanged. However, they did have a few days in which they could appeal their sentence. So the couple tried to escape by making a rope out of the sheets in their cell. But unfortunately, when John was escaping, it broke and he wasn't about to leave Lavina behind. And he returned and was placed back in his cell. After their appeal for their sentencing was denied, the couple was sentenced to be hanged on February 18th. John, the husband, he wrote a letter asking for forgiveness from the crowd and passed away as he was praying. Lavina requested to wear her wedding dress to her execution, but she didn't want to walk to the gallows. She refused. As they were carrying her to the gallows, she was screaming and cursing at the crowd, blaming all of them for convicting her. And as she got to the stand with the rope around her neck, she screamed, "If you have a message to send to hell, give it to me and I'll carry it." And she jumped off on her own and killed herself. They said that they have never seen a woman with a more sinister look on her face. This occurred at what is known now as the old haunted jail in Charleston, and it's located downtown, and there have been many reports of people who have worked there. It now belongs to a school, I think, like a university, and people will say that they can see her face behind bars, and you'll see her walking around downtown Charleston. I have personally went on one of these tours, and this is how I first found out about Lavina, and it was terrifying, to say the least. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to encourage me to make more, and thank you so much for watching. If you have anything to add, please comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.